I must say I'm a very proud person to be an old boy of this Greek school, the Alliance High School. Number 3004, 3004, dorm 17B of the year 1972. So I'm very, very excited to come back to Alliance High School after 52 years. So I was here 52 years ago. And I've been amazed by the way the school has developed. Since then, I almost got lost. So mwalimu, pongezi sana, jipigieni makofi. Let me give you a short, we call it grid referencing of my Alliance High School days. Those days I was Form 5 and Form 6. So I came here in Form 5, 1972. I came from a school now in Tharaka Nithi. Those days it was in Meru, called Chuka High School. And there was a policy then. Chuka High School, Alliance High School was taking the best students from the 42 districts in the country. So they'd go around picking the top students. So I was picked among the ones who came from Meru. I think we were 3 or 4. And I was the best in my school, in Chuka High School, a good Division 1, and 12 points then. So I came here feeling on top of the world. I had never been to Nairobi before. So this alliance which made me cross Nairobi to come here. And I can tell you a secret. I came here because there's a girl I really admired at Alliance Girls. And I had heard that when you're at Alliance Boys, you meet these girls every weekend. So I thought I had an opportunity of meeting her every weekend. But my introduction to school was not very good because I was dropped at there was a kibao strong to serve somewhere at the parade grounds then. It was not this current, it was this other side near the dining. So I was dropped there by a guy who was in a hurry. Then another friend of mine from Kirinyaga was also dropped there. And the cars left, so the two of us were left in the boxes. Outside there, we didn't no idea where the headmaster's office was. So tulikuwa tumezuba hapo kidogo. Then we saw two boys in blue jerseys. We later came to learn they were Form 2s. Those days Form 2s were wearing blue. Form 3 and 4 were wearing what you are wearing, green. And Form 5 and 6 were wearing gray. So we saw these two boys in blue. We stopped them and asked them where the headmaster's office was. So they asked us, "Are you Form 5s?" Yeah, we told them, "We are." "Did you pass well?" We told them, "Yeah, we are Division 1s." And they said, "And you don't know where the headmaster's office is?" So they just laughed at us and left. So now we were left struggling with our boxes around the compound to look for the headmaster's office. Finally, we found it. The headmaster was very nice, and she went through the admission procedures. That's number one. Number two, about 2 weeks after, there was a debate at a cross, the Alliance Girls. And being the chairman of the debating club at Chuka High School, I was top in English language, top in English literature. So I was very, very confident. So we got ourselves to Alliance Girls for this debate. It was 1972. And I think that fashion has come back. It was on miniskirts. So the debate was whether girls in high school should be wearing miniskirts or not. That was the debate. So the debate was very heated because we had some Christians who were saying they should not, and other liberal students saying the girls should wear short as miniskirts that they feel like. So I chose to contribute to the debate. I know what happened. No sooner was I on the floor, there's some guy at the back shouting, "Sit down, you male." So then I tried to check with this. Then I was booed off stage. So when I went to sit, I asked the boy who was sitting next to me why they were laughing at me. And he told me, "You are speaking Khmer English." so up to that moment, I had not known I speak Khmer English. I was very confident about my English. So, Istoshe, I think the rest of the month there was a school dance. Next to the library there was a hall there where we used to do the Saturday evening paper sep, and also the school dances. And who were our partners? Girls from across. So now, here there were sons of cabinet ministers, PSs, big shots in Nairobi. So these guys could dress. Those were the days of bell bottoms, platforms, and what have you. And we had come from the village. Fortunately, the school had given us a suit for uniform. The uniform was a blazer and a grey trouser and a white shirt. So we thought we were very smart in the school uniform. So we cover his school uniform to go to dance. And these guys, then after the music, we had come from the village. I only knew about Kamaru and, down the Kabaka's twists and all those. So there were new dances in town. I never heard or seen those, or I never heard those songs, seen those dances. So now we can go to a dance. That guy I really loved was in the dance. And I waited to see how people were dancing. Then I went to ask her for a dance. She agreed. Huh? But now my heart was pumping, and I didn't know the dance very well. So I mixed the steps on the floor, stepped down a bit, then she got fed up and left me on the floor. Now, walking from that spot on the floor to the side where the people were sitting waiting to dance was the longest journey. And then after that, I ended up straight to 17B and went to bed. So I made a decision that I will never go to Alliance Girls again, number one, and two, that I will never speak in this school. Because now people are laughing at my English and all that. So fortunately I found some friend, a Kalenjin boy, who was also speaking Kalenjin English. So we became friends. And those days were from 6 cubicles. So we spent most of our time in the library. And we really read, and our best moments of outings are when we used to walk to Mayahe, so to eat karara. You know, karara is chapati with the salt. I don't know whether you guys go there. But we used to go there every evening after class and eat karara and come back. So, sorry, that was my introduction to Alliance High School, coming from a bush school. It was very hard for us. But I thank Alliance in very many ways. First, by pushing me to the library. You interested me in books and the search for knowledge. Really, the library opened my mind. I read so many things which other boys had no chance to read. My son is called Fanon. I read about Franz Fanon from Alliance, you know, those days. Legend of the Earth, blacks, white skins, black skins, white masks, all that. So I grew intellectually, you know, from my social awkwardness here at Alliance High School. And then it also psychologically strengthened me. I was able to handle emotions, deal with the rejection of life, and deal with the difficult situations. So that over the rest of my life, I was able not only to survive, but also to thrive in adversity. I was able to manage many challenges in my life because I was strengthened by the experiences here. So Alliance is not just about what you read in class, mathematics, biology, and getting A's. It is about character formation. We had a very good headmaster called Sanders. He was teaching chemistry, but he used to encourage us, even those who are reading history, you know, to be gentlemen, to be men. And I think the confidence we got from here, because all of us believed, and we don't know that it is true or false, that Alliance was the best school, north of Limpopo and the south of Sahara. And wherever we went, even after this, even when other boys from other schools did better than us, we still believed we were better than them. That's why when we came to study master's degree at Nairobi University, about 70% of the students came from Alliance High School. One time we went out, when I became Minister for Justice, we were sitting having coffee with the then Attorney General and the Chief Justice. Amos Wako, old boy of Alliance. Chief Justice Gesharu, old boy of Alliance. Kiraito Murungi, Minister for Justice, old boy of Alliance. So when we had difficult justice issues to deal for the country, we would drink the old boy's tea and would solve very many legal problems, you know, for this country. So that is Alliance. And I feel lucky that you are here because of the character that this school builds, the confidence that it gives you as you go around the various professions and various situations in life. So that's what I would like to say about Alliance. Mwalimu, I'm very impressed even by the big picture that you are giving. Anybody walking into Alliance will know is coming to a great school. Doctor will tell you when we're out there, we don't even mention the name Alliance. We say we have come from the school, because this is the only school. Now, allow me to tell you, What I came to tell you tonight, it was about happiness. You have heard, by normal Kenya standards, I'm a very successful man. Came from Alliance High School. I was a top student at Nairobi University, both for graduates and master's degree. I did number 1 Kenya School of Law. Did top student Harvard, among the top students Harvard Law School in the US. When I came back, we were the pioneers of human rights movement in the country. You are talking about the struggle for democracy. Became a member of parliament for 10 years. I was a cabinet minister, Minister for Justice, Minister for Energy, another 10 years there, and became a senator, 5 years, Governor of Meru, and then a Commissioner of Law Reform Commission, where I still am, and now Chairman of the National Oil Corporation of Kenya. So I think, somebody looking out there, those are the things people are looking for. Is that no success? Kwa nini mpigi makofi? But I also married, I have 4 grown-up children, and I've written some books which I brought you. So even the social front, I can say I've done well. But I've come to tell you tonight that life is not easy. Life is hard. Even those people you hear have done well, they've gone through a lot. Nasikia vile nichekelewa hapa Alliance, isn't it? See, that's one of the tests and trials I went through, isn't it? In life, there are many highs and lows. Even your chief principal will tell you he must have some handles which he went through in his life. We have sorrows, joys, ups and downs as part of life. I have been unhappy and distressed many times. I've even been booed, not only here, but even by wananchi when we were looking for votes. But the worst depression has been a post-election depression, and been elected for continuously for 30 years, from 1992 to 2022, and won every election. And I became confident. I thought I would even win this other one, but somehow I lost it. And it was very painful, very depressing. No plan B, life looked empty and meaningless. I just saw darkness in front of me. And I was raking my woods, morning at home. I started questioning, doing what we call a me search, reflecting on your life, meaning, and all that. What's all this? And that's how I came to be interested in this subject of happiness. And these days when you're idle, what you do is get to your phone. Then you start surfing. Then on Facebook, that's how I came to discover there is a school of happiness called the Happiness Studies Academy. So I listened to some podcasts and all that, and I was interested in the message there. So I enrolled for the school. It was not an easy one, because It had very high fees. We were paying 50,000 shillings every month. But I enrolled because I really wanted to understand. And they said there was a science of happiness. And the science of happiness comes from psychology. I think the teachers have studied some psychology. And the traditional psychology that people know deals with what we call psychosis. It deals with negative human experiences, stress, anxiety, and all those disorders. But that's just part of life. Life has both joy and sorrow. There's no life which is just sorrow. There are moments of joy. And there's no life which is just happiness. It has to have some sorrow as well. Then they say it's a way our brains are wired. Generally wired towards negativity. People pay more attention to negative experiences rather than positive experiences. And even if you read the Kenyan newspapers, or watch the news are bad news. Wale watu wameenda na maji, murder, rape. These are what are the headlines. People have died. That is put 2 pages at the end of Daily Nation. But we are not talking about who has been born. Have you seen children being advertised? Yeah? We are not talking about people who are happy. We are talking about sadness. But you say that is not complete. Life has to have both. So that's why a famous professor who was the head of the American Psychology Association called Professor Martin Seligman, who said they are going to introduce a new branch of psychology called positive psychology. And positive psychology looks at the brighter side of things. It says we should acknowledge the sadness, okay, but we should talk more about happiness and joy and encourage people to be happier instead of always reinforcing sadness, always reinforcing negative experiences in our society. So the professors took off that for some time. And then within it, a new branch also developed, which is called the science of happiness. The 2 professors you saw on the video, Professor Tam Ben-Shahar, was a famous psychology professor at Harvard University. And he is my mentor. He is the person who is the head of the Happiness Studies Academy in New York, which we went to. And they discovered that happiness could be studied as a subject on its own. And yes, he set up that institute for nothing else. But for getting people to understand what happiness means, and 2, what we can do to increase the levels of happiness in our lives. And they made a very fundamental statement that happiness is a universal aspiration of every human being. And for Americans, it is a fundamental human right for every person to live a happy and prosperous life. And then when you look at what people are doing, sometimes we operate on autopilot. We don't even think exactly what we are doing. Everything we are doing in this world is done in the hope and belief that's going to make us happier. Even in this school, we have the cook. Now, why do you think he's cooking? Do you think he likes the carrots and those things? He's cooking because he thinks at the end of the month he'll be paid for it. And then with the money, he's going to make himself happier, isn't it? The surgeons who are operating people, they are doing it in the hope that maybe they'll get some personal satisfaction out of it. And also, they'll be paid, isn't it? And when you get the money, what do you do with it? You try to make yourself, you buy shoes, buy clothes, thinking they are going to make you happy. So, everybody, even you in this school, why are you reading so hard? You're reading hard so that you can be lawyers, doctors, engineers, and so what? When you become engineers, why do you want to be engineers? Isn't it? Because you hope after that success, you're going to be happier in your life. It's Toshe. We don't want to be happy in this world. Even after we die, we want to be happy. I believe some bishops come to talk here, isn't it? Our ministers. Why do you want to go to heaven? Heaven is marketed as a final destination of happiness and bliss. If you are told you'll be crying there, nobody will be going to church, nobody will be going to all those prayers, because the whole idea is so that after you exit this world, you continue with happiness in the world, that comes. So, the experiences in the world, there is both yes and no, positive and negative, day and night, sadness and joy. That's part of this world. But we are more focused on the sadness, on the negatives, and not on the positives. So we are here to focus more on the positives. There's a theory which is given to students and which I want to disapprove. You are told you go to school, you study hard, don't enjoy yourself now, sacrifice for tomorrow, get good grades, become an engineer, become a headmaster, then you're going to be happy when you get there. But my friends, it does not work like that. Yeah? You think this exam is difficult? O levels. Yeah, I can assure you there are going to be many A's from Alliance High School. Many of you are going to pass. We have been passing. I don't see why you should not pass, isn't it? It is expected that when you come to Alliance, you have already passed, unless you work hard to fail. But you go to university, you'll find other exams there, in physics, in chemistry, whatever. Yeah, so you have worked hard here, we celebrate a bit, you go to university, you do other exams, isn't it? The story is the same. Pass, get a good job, and your life will be happy. You are passing, even in the university you're going to pass. Some of you, basic, others, master's degrees, even PhDs. When you get a job, and what happens when you get a job? Yeah, you'll be happy because the others who are unemployed, but you'll be told work hard so that you can get a promotion. First, work hard so that you can be confirmed. Work hard so that you can be promoted. So again, you excite yourself, you work hard because you are going to be happy after you are promoted. And for sure you do. And then you are promoted. And then there are the other challenges. You have targets to meet. There's competition because when you are promoted, kuna wengine who you are bypassed. isn't it? So when geopolitics come in, you have stepped on other people's toes, the work environment can become toxic, so that you are not happy. But let's assume all that happens, and you're told now you've got a car, you've got a house, marry. So that now you can get married, you can get happy. Some of you will be lucky to have very nice wives, but the others will be very nasty to you. And you can see I'm a lawyer, I've handled some divorces, very serious fights. Right? So marriage is not always happy, but it can be. So I'm saying, don't think it will be automatically happy. You can even go beyond that, become the richest person, have a lot of money. But I even know people who have a lot of money who are not happy. Actually, they think the richest man in the world was J.D. Rockefeller. And when he died, he said his money had not brought him any happiness. So your life can be empty, can be void. Now, here in school, I know you're working very hard. I know even the person who is number one. Who is number one in this? Mwalimu Abiru is here. The one who beats all the others. Your name? Gekonyo? Akipigwa makofi Gekonyo. I would like to encourage you very much. Who is your number two? Where is he? Hakuna? Okay. Let's assume he is there. Kevin? Yes, that's who you are pigwe makofi. Now, I know you are the envy of these other students. But even Yekonyo has got to work very hard to remain number one, isn't it? And Kevin is working very hard to become number one. So number one is working very hard so that he does not go back to be number two. And number two is working very hard to become number one, isn't it? So don't think people are happy and comfortable because they are in these positions. It is a strain for you to be there. There are many things to worry about, as a student. You're worrying about which university you're going to go, which career you're going to do. You're going to be a doctor, an engineer, a lawyer, a teacher, businessman, or zero. I know, although you don't talk about it, many of you also worrying about girlfriends and whether you'll be married or not, these things. But you are trying to focus on the immediate road space. When you're driving a car, you're going to Mombasa, but you only look at what is in front of you. I am aware, as a happiness trainer, that students are struggling with the various psychological problems: anxiety, depression, eating and sleep disorders, and in some extreme cases, some students have found life to be meaningless, and some unbearable, and one or two cases, people have taken their lives. Even when we were students here, 1972, there's a grave of Carrie Francis. There were some trees there. Yeah, one time we passed through, and the body of a very bright student was dangling on a tree there in full school uniform. As we were going to a dining, we saw the corpse. So sometimes things can be that bad. So I want to tell you that theory about how you'll be suffering now so that to be happy in the future, it does not happen. The future doesn't come. The future always keeps receding. There's always something between you and happiness. So life brings challenges at every turn. Even after you pass exams here, more exams, you'll be rejected in your search for jobs. Many times you make applications for jobs, you get regrets. I myself got 100 regrets because I wanted to work from banks and other places until I gave up. And in the work, there will be struggles for promotion. You might find tough workload and fatigue. You might get burnout. And money is never enough. When you get more money, like Tari, when you get money, you want more money. When you get more, you need more. When you get a pay rise, you want even a higher one. So people are always discontented. There is no person who is contented. The people you see around, everybody feels there's inadequate. There's something which has not happened. So what's my message? My message to you is try to be happy now as a student. Despite all these challenges, try to be happy now. Who tells you are going to be here for all those other years ahead? Nobody knows how long his life is. So even as you're in school, try to be happy in school. I'm going to give you some suggestions. I've also been in school here. I know what we can. How can we raise our levels of happiness as students? First of all, you have seen Professor Lumumba saying don't bother about the definition of happiness. People have been trying to define happiness, for those who read philosophy, history, all the way from Aristotle and Plato. People have tried to define happiness without success. That professor that was saying there are about 8,000 meanings of happiness because it's subjective and every person is unique. You define your happiness in your own way. So P.L.O. Lumumba says, you don't define food, but you eat food every day. So you try to be happy. What we have as happiness practitioners is a working definition of happiness. And we say happiness must have at least some element of pressure. It must have some meaning and purpose, of life. Then they say you should never try to look for happiness directly. You wake up in the morning saying you are going to look for happiness, you will not find it, and you might end up very unhappy. So you don't look for happiness. You look for happiness indirectly. You do other things which when you look back, you feel good, and those make you happy. It is even like you are doing an exam, you cannot be happy before you do the exam. But after the results come out and you got a star, that is when you feel very happy. So happiness always comes after, something. The Happiness Studies Academy has developed a model which you can use to bring happiness in your life. By the way, take note of this, that nobody can give you happiness. It is you yourself who can give yourself happiness. So all these are strategies, frameworks, which you can use to make yourself happier. And the model is called SPIRE, S-P-I-R-E, because a human being is complicated. It's mind, body, soul. They say you have to take him, a human being, as a totality, for him to be happy. SPIRE stands for 5 elements. S stands for spiritual well-being. P stands for physical well-being, R stands for relational well-being, and E stands for emotional well-being. Let me try to quickly run through them. First, spiritual well-being. Spiritual well-being, when we talk about spirituality, people quickly conclude you are talking about religion. Well, that's just part of it. It could be religion or not. What we are talking about is something that you sincerely believe in, something that you really love to do, something you are truly passionate about, something which gives your life meaning and purpose. The Japanese call it ikigai, which means the raison d'etre of your life, the reason why you live, reason why you wake up every morning. So it's something you have to be passionate about. I always give the example of Professor Wangari Maathai, who trained as a veterinary scientist and got a PhD in that. But what gave her the Nobel Prize was not veterinary science, it was not animal science, it was the environment, trees. So she was so passionate about trees, you saw her physically fighting the police at Karura Forest. So it doesn't have to have the things you are studying, but there will be something that you are very passionate about, something which gives you meaning in your life. And then the second aspect of spirituality is what we call mindfulness. Mindfulness is paying attention. Mindfulness is having focus and being present in the here and now. There's a lot of happiness in life, but if you don't pay attention, you cannot. We even give young people the example of Miss Kenya. Miss Kenya can be very beautiful, she can pass by, but if you are not looking at her, can you know whether she's beautiful? So you have to pay attention. Then when you are paying that attention, you should not worry about other things, because there are many things in life. When Kipchoge Keino is running the marathon, do you think he's thinking about girlfriends? Do you think he's thinking about the friends they are drinking with? His focus is on the track. So, for you to be spiritual, you require the two things: meaning and purpose, focus, and mindfulness. Now, for you as a student, you have to sort yourself about, find out what you could be passionate about, try to discover it, and when you do it, you're going to be happier. Then two, the physical being. This is about yourself. There is no other person like you. That is why your ID, your thumbprint, is different from any other thumbprint in the world. So you are unique. Don't try to copy anybody else. You are yourself. And you are the most important person. I know you are thinking about big things, how you are going to be a bishop, a professor. You will never be if you are not there. If you are dead, can even be a student. Yeah? You have to be alive. That time I went for a seminar in China, and then we were told to do some arithmetic. Then they told us to write one. If you have a paper, write one somewhere. Or you can do a mental sum. Write one. You want to be what? A millionaire. Write 0. You want to be a farmer. Write 0. You want to be a professor. Write 0. You want to be a surgeon. Write 0. So everything you want to write a 0 after 1. Okay? Then they told us, cancel the 1. What do you get? You can get 6 zeros or 12 or whatever, isn't it? So what is that? It's nothing. So all those things you think you can be, if you are not there, then they are not there. Are we together? So what are we talking about? Self-care. You must eat well. If you are sick, you must take care to take medicine, whatever. You have to do some physical exercise for your body. You have to sleep, take a good rest to avoid burnout and such things. I know in situations like this, especially when exams are near, students sleep very few hours. Some of them, when we were in high school, you got to make a magic karai so that you don't go to sleep. And then you read until the wee hours of the morning. That is not good. I know many students who didn't sleep well, they didn't even pass well. We beat them. Physical exercise. I know physical exercise is ignored, especially during the exam term. Now, what do? It is wrong. You have to do some physical exercise. We are not telling you to go and run the marathon or play in a football team or whatever, but do some exercise. Even walking to my hair, I was telling you, is good exercise. Play, just a friendly football kidogo, just to stretch your body. That's very important because it also affects, it refreshes your mind. Resting after reading, sleeping is also very important because you avoid fatigue, you avoid stress, and you are fresh, when you wake up the following day. Even eating properly is important. Have you ever talked to somebody who has not eaten for a day? They are very angry, they have short temper. They don't even want to converse. I know the way you used to eat here. One of us has to say a prayer. By the time the prayer is finished, you just hear spoons and forks, hitting the plates. 3 minutes later, people have finished, they are walking out. Take time to enjoy your food. Digestion starts in the mouth. Yeah, don't rush through food. It's an important aspect of your life. Intellectual well-being. I say, for those who have bred cows through zero grazing, kuweka ng'ombe, give it food, salt, and whatever, and it grows fat. The cow is happy. But do that to a human being. Mweke kwa nyumba, give him food, drink, whatever he wants. And then you'll be very unhappy person. So the human being has to be intellectually stimulated. They say curiosity killed the cat, but it has not killed any woman, and it has not killed any man. So they say for the mind, you have to be curious. You have to be open to new ideas, new experiences. You saw me riding an elephant in one of the videos there, isn't it? Yeah, it was in Cambodia last month. And decided to go to a country I've never been and do things I've never done. And I was happy because these are experiences that you normally don't get. So there are many things you can do to stimulate your mind. I know you are reading for exams. That one, we will allow you to read the books, but for a time. But you can get a lot of entertainment by reading books. We are not telling you which. Read the one which makes you happy, the one which gives you pleasure to read. You can listen to music, you can get some new ideas by listening to music, watch movies, and all that. And these days, entertainment is in your hands, on your phone, isn't it? I know you are not around to keep phones in school, usually, but there's a lot of entertainment there. Spotify, on Facebook, and all that. Use it, but be very careful about it because it can enslave you. And there's a lot of junk entertainment and the overload of information through social media channels. In America now, they are going for what they are calling detox, digital detox. They take you for a week, for a retreat, and you're not supposed to carry any gadget, so that you can have communication. I know we have Facebook followers and friends, but those are not real. They say nothing replaces heart-to-heart friendships and communication. Now, in the school, you have a lot of opportunities for intellectual stimulation because this is the basic, and it is for you to find out what can make you happy here. Then there are relationships. They say relationships are the key generators of happiness. Friendships. They say no man can be happy alone. Even if you are as clever as what? Even if you have so many PhDs and you are alone in the forest with nobody else to talk to you, the PhD becomes meaningless to you. Even if you have so much money and nobody else is around you, even the money becomes useless. Like they are saying, you are left with a matching box and money alone in the forest, and the thing gets cold, you might use the money to make fire. So, human social connections are most important in life. I think you're also reading about Coleman's emotional intelligence, who says what you read in school only accounts for 20% of your success in life. 80% comes from the relationships that you have with other people. The friendships that you make from colleagues. This Alliance Old Boys Association is a very good association because that is where you meet very many people who are ahead of you, even people like me, who have come to share with you joys and frustrations of life. You'll find them there. And be the interviews, they advise you to get jobs and all that. So it's very, very important. Make friends with other students who are here. God has brought you together. Some from Nyanza, Rift Valley, Coast. Where else can you have an opportunity of making so many friends in one setting, like what you have here at Alliance High School? Make friends with the teachers. Don't fear them. They are human beings like you, isn't it? Even the person who is cooking is a human being. Don't just take the food and run away. Msalimie vizuri is very important in your life. Are we together? And when you get out, even a total stranger, like when you fly in an airplane, you meet people you don't know, but you end up, I know a man who met a woman in the US, they flew together. By the time they came here, they were good friends. Now they are married, 20 years. So even you meet total strangers, engage them. If people meet the refs, just say hello. They say happiness is contagious. You smile at somebody, somebody smiles, back to you. Friends will enrich your academic life. They will make you happy. And they will make life tolerable. I told you about my Karenjin friend, the one we used to read with in the library here. Actually, we continued. He later became a lawyer in Kapsabet. I visited him, and we continued most of our life. because unfortunately he passed on last year. Emotional well-being. I told you life is both joy and pressure, but it has also painful emotions, sadness, anger, and sorrow. These are part of life. However much we don't want the pain and suffering, I can assure you it is inevitable and it's going to be in every life. Even happy lives come to an end. There will be a time when you'll be forced to bury your children, bury your parents, bury your colleagues, and those are moments of sorrow and grief. And they'll be there. So, what do we do about these inevitable negative human experiences? We say it is only stones and dead people who don't feel pain. Everybody else feels pain. Here we encourage people to cry. Hata kama wewe ni mwanaume, cry. Because crying releases the tensions. Crying removes the pent-up emotions in your body. That's why women survive better in terms of crisis than men. 2, we have to be there to support each other. Sharing the pain in difficult moments is important because it lessens the pain. The Happiness Studies Academy does not tell you you will not suffer pain, but it says it will psychologically prepare you, especially to understand that pain is temporary. There is no pain which is there forever. It is only for a short time, and after that, life continues. Even after you mourn a loved one, you don't mourn forever. You mourn for 3-4 months, then after that, memories, time, and so you should not exaggerate pain or magnify it beyond the scope in which it is supposed to be. There are moments when pain can be overwhelming, and that time you're encouraged to seek professional help. Even psychiatrists, psychologists can also help you, to walk through that pain. But even in extreme circumstances like death, we always give ourselves hope. And that is why the bishops and the ministers of the church are critical, because they encourage you. And they tell us they know the end of it. And better life awaits for us in heaven. So this relieves us and we feel better. I know pain, anxiety, distress usually get very high, especially in the Form 4 class during exams. I think if you can remember what I've told you, try the SPIRE framework. Try to see, even within that difficult stretch you are going through, whether there are some of these elements you can use to relieve tension, anxiety, and try to enjoy even the academic journey, because that opportunity is still there. I don't want to speak beyond that. Let me say, when I was in primary school, there is a Swahili book we used to read. Inaitwa Someni kwa Furaha. It was a very powerful message. Someni kwa Furaha. So as I sit down, my message to you is Someni kwa Furaha. So I wish you success and all the happiness in your studies, and as prospective members of the Alliance Old Boys Association. Thank you so much. God bless you.